Hello everyone and welcome to today's Tech Talk, Real-Time Mapping Empowered Decision Making with GIS for COVID-19. I'm Janki Gattu, a certified GIS professional working with Geosys Enterprise Solutions Private Limited, which is an ISO 9001 and 2015 certified organization. And we from Geosys provide you various consulting services and help you as an individual and your organizations to grow by providing our valuable services. And today I'll be presenting you a topic on real-time mapping, empowered decision making with GIS for COVID-19. After this Tech Talk, a recorded version of this Tech Talk will be made available to you, and after the demonstration, we would love to hear from you all your queries and we'll try our best to answer all those queries. So what are we going to learn in today's Tech Talk is we are going to learn how everybody can use GIS as a tool which will help them to monitor, manage, and communicate like what is the kind of impact they have in that particular area because of this COVID-19 outbreak. So in this, we are going to do three things. One is we are going to gather the data that is available on the open data portals, and then we are going to map our COVID-19 cases. Then we are going to see the spread of the COVID-19 cases across a given region. So once you map the cases across a given area of interest, you need your audience to see the data and use the data in their day-to-day life, which will actually make a real difference. So let's create an interactive web map and a dashboard application, which will actually show us the kind of cases that has been registered in a given area and the number of deaths that has been occurred at a given area as well as the cases that has been recovered. And the main goal of this today's Tech Talk is to enable the general public to help them understand the geospatial technology in a more engaged and informed way, to help them understand why and how geography and maps are relevant and are more powerful. So in this 45 minutes of session, we are going to have an introduction that's about myself. And the next 10 minutes, we're going to discuss about today's topic, real-time monitoring, empowered decision making with GIS for COVID-19 by Geosys Enterprise Solutions. And then followed by a demonstration. And the last 5 minutes, we would like to hear all your queries. And we will also like to get the Tech Talk effectiveness. So Geographic Information System, GIS. Now, because of this COVID-19, now all the healthcare professionals across various disciplines are now talking about Geographic Information System as a vital component of their public health preparedness. And why they are considering this as a vital component is because of the efficient workflows that this tool is carrying out in helping us to understand the current situation and be situational aware of a particular area, and it also helps the healthcare workers and the professionals to identify what kind of resources has to be allocated to which area and at what time. And this overall objective of breaking out the pandemic using one of the popular tools, Geographic Information System, will really make the decision makers to make better informed decisions. And governments and health organizations are widely using GIS not just because of this pandemic of COVID-19, but they have been using this since 1854, if you know. And they're using this geographic information systems as a primary tool, and they were very successful in slowing down the spread of the virus by identifying what is the kind of impact the area of interest is having because of a pandemic in a given area. And then they were also successful in identifying the patterns and the relationship of that disease, and they were able to control the spread of the disease like SARS, Zika virus, Ebola, and now COVID 19. So, tracking this disease helps various health departments to determine the cause and behavior of the pandemic. And the organizations or the leading organizations like World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has been consistently relied on the advanced technologies or the mapping and spatial information technology to help them understand the spread of the disease and to identify the patterns and to prevent the next attack. And it is helping us to manage various disease outbreaks. So, public health preparedness is purely a geographic approach or a location based approach these days, because it is helping those professionals to safeguard the public health, because these people are getting large volumes of data in a variety of systems, and the difficult part is to consolidate all the data into a single system and analyze the data. So here public health staff are using GIS tools to visualize the outbreak at a given region and also to identify the relationship and patterns that are impossible to normally see and visualize the data in a tabular format. So what is this GIS is actually doing, and how is it helping the public health workers to better prepare themselves? Is GIS is producing more intelligent maps that shows where a disease outbreak has occurred, and it is helping us to predict the next occurrence. So by using our locational intelligence, so we can always be prepared, because we are aware of the situation at a given area of interest, and we can actually act on how to respond to an emergency at a given place in a more efficient manner and an effective way. So the case study which I'm talking about is the case study of 1854 of Dr. John Snow, who has successfully used geographic information systems in finding out the epidemic cholera. So Dr. John Snow has used this geographic information system in finding out the root cause of the problem, why this cholera has occurred. How he has done is he has collected the cholera cases that has been registered at various hospitals as a primary source, and the second data which he has collected is the water, the source of the water facility and the public water pumps, where he has identified the main public water source is the reason for the cholera epidemic in the whole world. And that is how he mapped the water pumps along with the death cases that has been registered in a hospital to identify the locations where more number of cholera cases has occurred and the deaths have occurred. And he was very successful in slowing down the next attack of the epidemic and in spreading of the virus. So this was a web application which we have created a long back, and I will demonstrate you how this was very successful. Just a case study to show how any kind of outbreaks or diseases can be controlled. So how about this? Yes, how this GIS is being used by the health officials. One is these health officials are using GIS to identify specific locations where the disease spread is more or it is more vulnerable, and they are going to evaluate those threats at that particular area of interest, and they are going to trace the outbreaks at the next occurrence, and they are creating situational awareness among various public groups and the community groups, and they are also engaging various people in allocation of the resources properly in a given time. And by using our geographic information system, we can notify the communities, and we can actually prevent the next outbreak by identifying the areas where there is more population, and we can also take preventive measures where by identifying the disease spread at a given region. So what is the workflow that we are going to follow to identify the risk areas and how to find the spread of a pandemic? So it is basically like on 5 steps which we can use to actually identify the cases and the areas that has been spread, and to communicate with the audience so that they'll be aware of the actual locational platform where the disease spread is more, and take a lot of preventive measures before going to that region for an emergency. So first is you need to find the source of your data, which is an authentic data. So with that data, you're going to map the cases, and then you're going to find the spread of the disease, and within a map, you're going to find what is the kind of spread of the disease is there in a particular location, and you're going to map with other component or other additional information like population or the age factor or the household information, whatever you have, and then you're going to map the spread, how with what intensity the spread is going to be in the next occurrence, and you're going to communicate those maps to your people who are with you so that they can be prevented. So in detail, like I have written here, so first is when you're mapping the cases, you have to ensure like what kind of data you need, because I need the data based on the country wise or based on a city wise, and I need to know the cases, number of cases that has been registered in the hospitals, number of deaths that has occurred in a hospital, and number of cases that has been recovered. And once I have all this information, I can easily find out the spread. So with time enabled maps, you can always find out the spread where the infection has been spread over a given period of time, and you can also model the system to identify your target intervention so that you can prevent the next outbreak. And then with other information, if you're going to associate your maps, it is more meaningful so that you can actually use this as a primary tool in mitigating the risk. And you're going to map your capacities, so enabling all the resources for a person who is already affected, maybe he's looking out for a hospital nearby, or the people who are supporting him may need a medical facility like pharmacy to get the medicines for him, or they might be looking out for a bank to withdraw some amount for the treatment. So all these kind of things you can actually map within your capacity and enable the information publicly so that it would be easy for everyone to actually make use of the data that you're going to do. And you can prepare various kinds of web maps and dashboards to educate the users and make situational aware. So there are various kinds of dashboards that has come into place because of this COVID-19, and this is an outbreak that has for Italy that has been prepared by the Italian government. And you can actually see like how much of spread is there in a given region, and at what time, like you have how many cases you can actually see, and you can see the number of confirmed cases based on the province or based on the state, and you can see how many total cases are there, deaths are there, and how many have been recovered. So you can actually create these kind of decision dashboards for the public to make them understand what is the kind of spread they have in their given area. So, and this is one other dashboard which has been prepared at Amsterdam, and it is almost similar to the one which we have seen just now. And this is one other dashboard where they have taken the sources World Health Organization information based on the province, and you can actually see the spread of this in China. And this is the Indian government data, which is prepared by National Disaster Management Authority, and which will actually show you the case by case information and as per the state, and you can also see the spread of it. So let's go into the demonstration part and see how we can prepare a real-time monitoring application, and let's see how we can empower the decision making tool as GIS for COVID-19. So all I need is I need to go to arcgis.com, and then I need to sign in to the platform. So I would like to create a folder for today's date, COVID-19. So this is an empty folder. I don't have any information in this. So I'm actually go to work on this particular folder, and before we go ahead, we can actually see the application which we are talking about, Jon Snow application. So there is a web application which I have created long back, and which I can use it now to demonstrate the application, how it was actually done to identify a particular disease and the source of that particular disease, and how it was actually prevented with the next outbreak. So if you see, I have like various layers here. I'm turning off everything, and this is a Soho area near to the University of Westminster in London, and this is the area of interest where there are a lot of cases that has been registered saying that they have cholera in that particular area, and all those cases have been registered in the hospitals. So these are the cholera cases by address. So, and these are all the deaths. That is the reason it has been shown in a red color. And this Dr. Jon Snow has used an additional information to this death information, like what could be the source for all these diseases. So he actually taken the information of public water pumps. You can see this information as P, right? So his analysis was very simple. He has taken this two information, the public water pumps and the deaths that has been registered in the nearby hospital, and then he wants to identify the pattern and the relationship between these two. As such, he has generated buffer for those pumps here. So you can see from the pump he has generated buffer, so that because if you have that pump, that water comes from a certain buffer distance, so he is taking that area into consideration, and he wants to see like within that area people will go to a nearby hospital, so he wants to identify how many people are actually using that water facility uh, in that particular area. So he is actually doing a buffer here, and then he has actually summarized that information, and by using a technique called interpolation technique, and then he was able to identify this is the area where there are more number of cases. If you see here, there are more than 91 cases which has been highlighted in the dark red color, saying that they have been affected with cholera, and there are a lot of more people who has died in this particular area. And the other areas which are seeing light in color are the areas there is an effect, but it can be mitigated because the cases that has been registered in those areas are very less. So the circles whichever you are seeing in dark red and in orange colors are the areas which are prone to cholera cases and more number of deaths in that area. And if you see here, we have labeled it, and you can see there are more 202 cases that has been registered in the central portion. Okay, so I'm done with this. So let's go ahead to a content. So let's go to this COVID-19. So here I'm going to prepare our map. So take a blank map. First thing is, if you have to map certain thing, either you need to have your own data or you need to have some authenticate source of data. So I cannot have data. Even if I have the data, it would be a static information, but my concept is all about real-time monitoring of the information. So I wanted to use the real-time information to make this particular map. As such, I am going to use John Hopkins data for plotting of this map. So in this ArcGIS online platform, you have this John Hopkins data that is already available. So I can go to click on add data and click on search for layers. And I want to search in Living Atlas layer. So you can actually see the data here. Corona COVID cases, Corona cases US. It is only like US data, and this is for the whole globe. So depending on your requirement, you can actually click on this, and this is actually the authenticated information, and this was actually integrated into our ArcGIS online platform, and it is available as a feature layer in the Living Atlas. And you can see here, it has for the entire universe, we have all this information, and the description of the information is given here. And so what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to click on add to map. So this John Hopkins University has given all the information of the cases that has been registered, and you can see here, this is for the whole globe. You have this COVID-19 cases that has been registered across different hospitals. I'm zooming in a bit more for you to understand this. Okay, and now go to the details and let's see what information are we getting here. So first thing is, I am getting the information of deaths. Okay, so whatever you're seeing here, a black cross mark in between the circles is the deaths in that particular area. So I can click on that one. So you can see here, I clicked on Minnesota, USA, and the last update was on 12th April 2020 at 4:40 a.m. And these are the coordinates of the location where I've clicked, and the confirmed number of COVID cases that has been registered in Minnesota is 37, and 0 cases has been recovered, and there are 4 deaths in that particular Minnesota area, and the active number of cases currently are 33. So, and the county is like Martin, and you can have all the other information depending on your requirement. So if you actually zoom in more, and if you can actually see here, even by seeing the map itself, you can actually see the spread of the COVID disease is more on the eastern part than on the western part. And if I zoom out more, you can see for all the countries, and you can see here the spread is more in China here, right? So let's come back here. Okay, and now I have deaths. I have the cases that has been registered by country. So if you want to see the information, I'm clicking on the attribute information. There are like 185 countries and all the information. I have the latest update information. You can see here everything is on 12th April 2020 at 4:40 a.m. and I'm getting the coordinates of the location and the confirmed and death cases that has been registered at a given location, as well as I'm going to get the recovered cases and currently active cases and what is the kind of incident rate that I'm having. So other additional information is also available, but now we will use this information to actually map our things. Okay, so I have the COVID cases based on the country, and I have the cases that has been registered and the cases that has been uh, registered as death cases. So when you click on this, you will get all the kind of information that we have seen in the attribute table. So if you want to perform analysis, yes, you can perform analysis. So if you just want to click here, and if you just want to filter the information, so if you want to filter the information based on a region, yes, you can do that. So I have like only USA information, and if you zoom out, I will not see any other information apart from this one, because I have just filtered it. You can see here. So I have like only USA here. I have the cases here, so I can actually filter those cases. So I am clicking on filter. So now you can see I have filtered like USA. So I have only that information as of now. So similarly, like I would like to filter the cases of deaths as well. So let me go here and let me filter it based on the country. Okay. So these are the list of provinces that we have, and based on the provinces, we have the information here. So this is all the information which I have here. So if you want to change a base map, yes, we can change it. Okay, so we have this information now, and first let me save this. Click on save as. COVID-19 global COVID-19 cases. So you can add some tags, and so I'm going to open this. All right, because I did not save that information, so it is lost. Like, so we will see this here. So I'm actually saving this information first, and I'm going to the home page, and here I have this. So I want to prepare a dashboard for this. So I'm going to prepare a dashboard. So this is the information like which we are preparing now. So we can actually see here, go to this COVID-19, and as of now we don't have any dashboard here. So I'm going to prepare the dashboard here itself. So give the name. If you want to give any tags, you can give it here. And these tags will help you to actually search your data at later point of time. And then I'm coming to my folder. I'm clicking this. So you can click here and you can select your map. So this is the map which we have created just now. So click on that one. So if you want a scale bar, you can set the extend, legend, visibility, base map. So, and then if you have want to set any kind of title, John Hopkins University, prepared by Geosys Enterprise Solutions. So if you want to give any description for this, so click on add. So this is the kind of extent I have there. So that's the reason it is showing me like this. Okay. And now, if you want to change your base map, yes, you can. But I feel the other one is better, so I'm using the same old one for now. And then I'm going to add a header. The header panel, if you want it to be small and all, you can actually do those settings. Prepared by Geosys Enterprise Solutions. So I'm clicking on done. So I have that information here. So if you want like the pie chart, so you can actually add it here. So I want the pie chart information to show the data. So if you want this to be added, you can actually click this one. So based on the fields if you want, or based on the group you want, you can actually group that. I want to group it based on the country, and I want to show the count. So click on done. So I have this information. So if you feel like you want to configure something, you can click on this and you can configure it back. So here it is showing me a pie chart with all the information. So if you want to actually change this, you can actually change this information. For now, I'm good with this. So I'm clicking on cancel. Forgotten to show you something. I'll show you. So if you want to to actually change this style and all, you can actually change the style. If you don't want the name to be pie chart, like you can actually give COVID-19 deaths in USA. So and if you want to select based on the country or state, you can actually select it. So this is how it is going to appear. So I'm clicking on done. I'm clicking on save. And then if you want to add a gauge, you can add a gauge. I want to add a gauge based on the state. So how do you want any based on the features or based on the static information that is already available? You can actually see that one. And if you want to change the color and everything, you can actually do the settings here. Okay. Um, okay. So if you want to show this in percentage, you can actually show this in percentage. So it is all like uh, what you're planning to do. Based on that, you can actually show that here. And the information also you can change, or you can actually put the filters also if you like. Based on the province, if you want, like you can add the province, or based on the state you want, you can actually give this filter and click on done. But I want this to be within this platform. So you can actually put that information here. So click on save. If you want to get the details, so you can actually put those details here. Okay. And then if you want the map legend, you can see the map legend here. I'm putting it here. I want this to be on this side, so I will arrange it here. So I'm done with the data I wanted to present here. So I'm saving it, and I want this to be used by the audience so that they can identify like where there are like more number of cases. So it is always like recommended not to go to this area like where there are more number of cases that has been registered. And you can see the legend here, like you are seeing the bigger dots here because those are the areas where you have like more number of cases, especially in the New York City and all. So if you actually wanted to minimize, you can actually minimize this, zoom out, and save this information, and you will get a link here. So if you want to use this link, you can use this link and share it with your friends. So the same thing, I changed it to into a dark theme, so I think they should be better. So if you want, you can actually use this and you can send it to your friends. So what we have seen is like we have seen the authenticated information, and then we have taken the data, and then we have plotted the data. Then we have find out the spread of the disease, and then we prepared a web mapping application for that. And using that web mapping application, we tried creating a dashboard for the public to actually see this information. Okay. So those who have any doubts can ask me now.
అయ్యప్ప కూడా ఇదే అంట జాబ్ అది స్పేషియల్ డేటానే కదా వాడతారు ఇది స్పేషియల్.
If you have any queries, please introduce yourself, and then you can ask me a question, and I'm here to answer you.
Yeah, I just have two questions, ma'am, if you're just there.
Yeah, I'm here, and may I know your name, please?
Okay, so this is Pavan here. Hi, ma'am.
Hello, Pavan.
Yeah, so I have two questions here. Now, I've already done this map and on our online, and I've seen that in India we don't have region specific, like we don't have Andhra Pradesh or Telangana or Maharashtra.
See, it is
Yeah.
it actually depends on the data that is shared by their respective governments. So like you have like a national disaster team in our India, so that's the
Yes, yes,
reason,
yes.
like because that is not shared publicly to use, because as I want everybody to use the data that is available publicly, I have taken John Hopkins University data which is available. But in our India, like if you want the data as per the state wise, whoever is authenticated to use that information have already used and prepared a dashboard. So
Yeah.
if you have access to the data from National Disaster Management Authority,
Yeah.
then you can actually take that data and plot it. It's almost the same like what we have done.
Okay. And my other question is on the chlorella map of Jon Snow's. And now it's just shown that the proximity towards the well is where the cases should be maximum or away from the well, because that's what I'm a bit of confusion about. So there's a well. So
Yeah, I'll tell you. See, there are like cholera cases and there are like water pumps. There are two different layers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So initially the pumps layer is not there because he was actually taking the deaths that has been registered on cholera from a hospital, right? And then these hospitals are having like more number of death cases, and there was a prediction saying that it can be because of water.
Okay,
And there is no hard and fast rule that it has to be with water, but that's a trial and error method. Like how people are actually working on the vaccination now, it's like a trial and trial kind of thing. And then he started, okay, if there is a relationship, that could be the prime factors for this epidemic. So that's the reason he has already the death case information from the hospitals. So he has collected the pumps information, and then at that time they don't have the technology in 1854. right?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we are doing it in seconds or minutes.
Yeah.
At that time they don't have that kind of technology. So what he has done is like he has plotted it and he tried matching those relationships and he tried to identify the pattern.
Yeah.
As such, he was able to identify that there was more number of cases that has been registered where the pump locations are there,
Okay. Okay.
and which means the people whoever is using more water at that proximity have registered more number of cases in the hospitals. So it is interrelated. If you actually see the theory of John Snow, you'll get to know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Pawan. Any other queries? And I request all the participants in this group like to give us the feedback because we are planning to continue a series of sessions like this in the coming days. So as such, like we would like to have the feedback so that it would actually help us to work with different kinds of concepts, because today like we wanted to, because this is a hot case that is going on now, so we wanted to showcase like how you yourself can prepare the data and make it available to the public for a general use. So any other queries? All right. Thank you so much, and we'll be sending the feedback in the next 5 minutes. So requesting all the participants to send us a feedback. Thank you. And
Thanks a
for
lot.
any other queries, and if you want to reach me, you can actually call us back on these numbers, and you can always reach me on this mail address. Thank you.